Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video of TechWafer. Hopefully you're having a great day. Deal here, your host, and in this video I'm about to unbox and quickly review the Realme Narzo 50i. So stay tuned and watch this video till the very end. The smartphone has 4 GB of RAM coupled with 64 GB of internal storage. Hopefully that is an expandable storage option, and with that the processor is unannounced, but it is an octa-core chipset, so hopefully we'll be getting a reasonable performance here. And apart from that, it has a decent camera setup. We'll talk about all of these specifications in the review section, but the key selling point of this smartphone are its design and the battery life that it is going to offer. So stay with me and let's start the unboxing of this one. Here we go. Okay, so now that we are done with this unboxing, hopefully you like that. Now let's get back to the design and the display of the smartphone. And this phone carries a 6.5 inches IPS panel at the front with 400 nits of peak brightness, and the resolution of the smartphone is HD, that is 720 pixels into 1080 pixels of resolution that this phone is providing. So the phone do offer a decent setup of display here that we normally get in the phones that fall under this particular price segment. Now speaking about the bezel on the left, right and top are decently placed, but the bezel on the bottom or the chin are a bit thick, and that too is expected from a smartphone that falls under this particular price segment. As far as the design is concerned, this phone comes in 2 color variants. The first one is carbon black and the other variant which we have for review is mint green, and I personally love this color. I've never seen such placement of decently mix of green color with a tinge of white on a smartphone, and it looks really impressive. As far as the camera's placement is concerned, that is also decently placed with a minimal camera bump that you can get on a smartphone. But this smartphone is lacking one thing when we are speaking about the design, and that is its fingerprint scanner. There is no fingerprint scanner protection on this smartphone, so that's a downside for sure. And while we're speaking about the design, let's talk about the placement of the power button and the volume rockers, and you are going to find them on the right side of the phone. And as far as their ease of use and the placement is concerned, these buttons are easily reachable and they are responsive too, which is surprising for a chipset that is based on a 28nm architecture. And we're surely going to talk about the chipset in the performance section, so stay tuned for that. And now speaking about the placement of the SIM tray, this phone carries a dedicated micro SD card slot along with the dual SIM port, so you can expand the 64 GB of internal storage that it offers, and that's a good thing for sure. And if I look at the bottom of the smartphone, you are going to find the placement of USB 2.0 along with the microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack, while the placement of the speaker grill is on the back of the smartphone, which is obviously not suitable position for smartphone speakers, because whenever you are watching movies or playing the games, the sound quality is going to get compromised. And while we are speaking about the design, this phone do offer splash proof resistance, which is first of its kind in this particular price segment, or at least this is the first smartphone that I'm testing under this price segment which offers the splash proof resistance, and that's definitely a great thing for an entry-level smartphone. And it may look like a bulkier smartphone, but it is obviously not, because it weighs only 195 grams even with a 5000 mAh battery inside. So in terms of the design, I do not have any complaint apart from the speaker system setup here. Now coming back to the display, this phone is offering a 720p display on it, which is HD resolution, and normally the phone that comes in this price segment do offer the similar display of this kind. So I cannot complain about that. The brightness is also reasonable, but it is not enough that you can use this smartphone under a direct sunlight. But in indoor situations, you're not going to find any problem using this smartphone at all. There's a view drop notch at the top, and that houses the 5 megapixel selfie shooter. We'll talk about its performance in the camera section. Under the hood, the Realme Narzo 50i is powered by following chipset by SoC, and it is based on a 28nm architecture, which is definitely not worth it in 2021. And this phone does offer the following benchmark scores that are appearing on your screen, and I've cross compared the performance with the chipsets that are being offered in the same price tag even by the Realme itself. With this processor, you're definitely going to get difficulty when multitasking for sure, but for daily life usage, it is going to cope up with any task that you may throw on it. I'm specifically talking about apps that consumes less resources like Facebook, YouTube and Netflix, where you can watch content and send messages to your friends and family. But if you're a person who would like to play games like Call of Duty and PUBG, which consumes a lot of resources, then I would certainly not recommend this phone to you. Now, speaking about the software, this phone is running Realme Go UI at the top of Android 11.0, so you're not only getting a clean and an optimized, or I would say highly optimized user interface, specifically designed for lower-end and entry-level smartphones, but at the same time you're also getting the advanced features of Android 11.0. And overall, my experience in terms of software is not bad at all. I did not find any stutters or lag when using the smartphone. Each operation I performed was smooth. The navigation throughout the menu, settings and gallery was quick, and there were no delays at all. Now, speaking about the camera setup, this phone is housing 8 megapixel rear camera at the back with an LED flash, and at the front this phone houses a 5 megapixel selfie shooter in a view drop notch. As far as the performance is concerned, the camera quality may not be as excellent, but it does the job necessary to get a decent quality photo. The colors and contrast in the photos are strong, while you may get trouble with the exposure and light control sometime. In terms of the daylight photography, everything looks smooth and the phone can capture decent photos during daylight with the front and the back camera both. The phone does not offer a secondary camera option at the back panel. However, there are some filters and options available to compensate that in the camera app. Now, speaking about the video recording, this phone can record up to 1080p video, and you can even reduce it to 720p depending on your choice. And speaking about the quality of the videos, that is also decent considering the price range it falls in. The only trouble that I've found is in low light conditions, and you should certainly not expect phones from this particular price segment to capture high quality photos in even low light conditions. The portraits captured through the camera are also decent. The 5 megapixel front selfie lens provides beauty enhancing filter that will add beautiful features. In addition, you can also capture natural photos from the main setting. So that's it for the camera setup, and I'm hopeful that you will not be disappointed by the camera results of it. Now, speaking about the battery life, this phone houses a 5000 mAh battery that can easily last for a day and a half for a heavy smartphone user, and if you're a casual one, it can last well above 2 days. It offers up to 8 hours of on-screen time easily, and the best part is this phone does support reverse charging features. So just in case your headphones are dying, you can reverse charge them using this feature. Even though the phone does offer a good battery life, on the other hand, the phone uses an outdated micro USB charging port to charge the battery. Because it's a massive battery, the phone is going to take a while to charge it, and I will definitely post the actual results on my Instagram, so stay tuned for that. It was a quick review, so I could not get that done. Okay, so now that we are done with every section, let's talk about the verdict of the Realme Narzo 50i, and it is a right choice for users who do not want to perform graphical intensive tasks and play heavy smartphone games on it. For the rest of the users, it could be the right choice because of its massive battery and a decent design that it is offering. And with that being said, the link to buy this device is in the description, but at the same time, I would like to warn you again, if you're a smartphone user who would like to buy a smartphone for gaming purposes, then I would certainly not recommend it to you. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace out.